Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very special guest on this episode of Beauty and Brains. We have Katherine Johnse.
Hi. Wow, I love the name of your episode. It's so cute.
Yeah, it's Beauty and Brains because as women, you know, we love makeup. Not everybody loves makeup, but you know, women and men love makeup, but it's just about having a conversation, getting ready together, and talking about fun stuff.
Love it. Love it.
So you can kind of introduce yourself, like tell people what you do and like what that entails.
And how I know you? Does that
We'll go
fall
from
into it?
yeah, I mean, yeah, technically, because one of the things you do, one of the many hats you wear
Is with you.
is how we met.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for hosting me on this happy today. Yeah, so I'm the director of marketing and partnerships for something called StartupFest. So we're Canada's biggest startup conference. And then we run like 4 other conferences and events internationally. So I do all of the marketing and partnerships for all of them.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's fun. Yeah, so StartupFest is like kind of our baby and like how I first got started, and that's all that it was when we started, was just StartupFest, which happens in Montreal every July. And then since we launched a digital government conference in Ottawa called 450. We run something in Toronto called Scale Tech, and then we run the Elevator World Tour where we give $100,000 to the best startups in the most impressive elevators in the world.
So let's break it down a little bit, because the startup world is something that is foreign to a lot of people.
Yes.
So how did you get started in this industry?
It's a great question, actually. So my dad is has always been in the startup world. He has started and sold a couple of tech companies. I was on spring break in Miami when I was like 19, maybe.
Woo!
Living it big. And my dad was there at a conference, so I was just down for like a couple days to catch a tan. And he forgot his iPad or something at the hotel. And he called me and he was like, "Can you please bring my iPad over?" And I was like, "No, I'm at the pool." And he was
I
like,
have stuff to do.
and he was like,
Like
okay,
brown my
he was
skin.
like, "So again, bring the iPad over." And I was like, "Yes, sir, Trent, I'm on my way." And so I went over there, and Phil, who is now my future boss, was running this conference called Startup Camp in Miami. And the girl who was supposed to do registration for them didn't show up. And my dad was like, "Oh my gosh, well, my daughter's here. She'll help you." And he was like, "Katherine, will you just like do registration for them for a bit today?" And I was so annoyed. I was like, "I have 2 days at the pool. No."
Better stuff to do.
Yeah, I know. I was like, but I mean, my dad just like, you know, when they give you the look of like, okay, well, this is what you're doing.
Do this, yeah.
So I literally like checked people, like I like scanned their badges. Or, yeah, like I would just like
Like
scan
you were at the door, like you had the list, and yeah.
Yeah, and I would like scan their like badges to let them in and just be like, "Hi, how are you? Hey, what's up?" And then then after that, that night, like Phil was at our hotel as well and like knew my dad a little bit, and he was chatting with me and he was just like, "So what are you doing in university, and like what are you doing this summer?" And I was like, "I don't know yet. I'm not sure what I'm doing." He was like, "Well, I just, I launched this last year, this project called StartupFest. It's grown to be pretty big in Montreal, and I want to hire someone to like help me with it for the summer. Would you have any interest in moving out to Montreal?" Because I live in Calgary. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know." So I said,
That's
like,
a lot to take in as a 19-year-old too.
yeah, and I was dating someone at the time, and I was 19 and I like wanted to go to Stampede, and I just wasn't sure. Like I didn't know anyone in Montreal, so I was like, "Oh, I need to think on it." And I went back home, and I honestly probably like agonized over the decision for maybe 2 weeks. I just didn't know what to do, because I was like, "Oh my God, like, am I really gonna spend the whole summer away? Like I don't know anyone." And my dad, in just like typical TJ fashion, was like, "You know what, like if it scares you a little bit, you're moving in the right direction." And so so I did. So I moved out there, and literally when I started, it was just Phil, my boss, Rebecca, who's our director of content and still is today, and myself. And I would do everything from like, oh my God, taking his dog to the groomers to like sitting in a meeting with Microsoft talking about like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I was like, oh my God, like my job is crazy. And my boss was a little bit scary. I hope Phil watches this and sees me say this. And
because now I imagine you're pretty close. Because how many years has it been? Like 7 or 8?
8 years. Yeah. Yeah. And we are, and like now we can laugh, but like he was, honestly, I compared him to like working for Anna Wintour. Like if I would go, not even kidding, like Devil Wears Prada was my life. And if I would go to leave at like 5:05, he'd be like, oh, cutting out early, hey? I'd be like, no, like it's 5. Like I've been sitting here all day. So I used to just literally sit at the office until he would leave. I wouldn't leave until he left, and he wouldn't leave until like, I don't know, like 8:39 sometimes. And like, it was my first year, so you don't have that much to do. Like, I'm not that important of a person, right? Like, I was like, I only have to do what you like give me to do. So I would just wait, and then I didn't know anyone anyways. So honestly, I told you this the other day, I would sit in the park, like literally at the park. Yeah, Mount Royal. And I would just like read Mindy Kaling's book alone on the weekends.
So
and like
Mindy
laugh to
Kaling,
myself.
if you're watching, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the joy you brought into my life. And if you haven't read both of her books, I think there's 2. They are the funniest things. Like, honestly, I just remember like having no friends and just like reading her books and laughing hysterically to myself.
I read the one where it's like
everyone's hanging out without
that
or something.
Yeah, that one's pretty funny.
And I'm not even like the biggest, I wouldn't even say that I'm like the biggest Mindy Kaling fan, but honestly, it's like you read it picturing her voice.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, and she just talks about like really relatable content. Yeah, it was amazing. So anyways, then what happened, I went back to school, and
wait, so how did you like Montreal?
had
you ever been there before?
I don't think I had. I think that was my first time ever going to Montreal.
Yeah.
And it was the summer that all of the big protests were happening. Like the university students were protesting the tuition hikes.
I was in university for that, so
it was.
Thank you so much, guys.
It was buck wild.
It was.
And I was like, I love that these people exercise their democratic rights. Like, I just really loved the Quebec lifestyle. And oh my God, Montreal in the summertime is only the most amazing city ever. Like now I'm a true, like I preach Quebec all the time. Like I'm just like, it is so great. Tourism Quebec. Sure, I mean we work with them and they should give me a additional
sponsorship.
Yeah, sponsor me Tourism Montreal. Because I am such a fan. But yeah, I loved it. So but I didn't think that I was gonna go back. And then what happened? Oh yeah, then we launched the Elevator World Tour, which was basically the concept of like we were doing elevator pitches before elevator pitches became like a cool thing to do. I'm just saying. The first StartupFest that we did, there was a freight elevator because it was in an old cruise ship terminal in Old Port, and we were like, oh, well, what would happen if we just put a few VCs, venture capitalists, investors essentially, into an elevator with some startups and said like, hey, you have until the bottom to pitch your idea. And we put like GoPros in the elevator, and it was just really funny. And we always did things a little bit like off the cusp. Like we have a panel of grandmother judges, and like everything we do is just a little bit unique.
And they're actual grandmothers. Like I was at StartupFest last year, and they're actual grandmothers that are sitting there listening and trying to understand what these people are pitching to them.
Yeah, and they're all actually like they all have business backgrounds. They're all like quite savvy.
They're intelligent. Yeah.
Super intelligent. Yeah. Like people always ask us like, is it because if a grandmother can understand it, anyone can understand it? And we're like, no, it's actually the opposite. It's that they are so
they see things differently, and I find the older generation kind of is good at determining like you're like a good person.
100%.
Like
they see through the bullshit.
Yeah.
Like they very much see through the jargon and stuff.
Well, they've been around the block. So.
It's so funny because actually just this week we launched that we're looking for one new grandmother to join our panel.
Oh my god.
So I literally put out a call for grandmothers, and people are honestly submitting their grandmother, which is hilarious. Yeah, so we launched the Elevator World Tour, and we were like, well, what if we did the same elevator pitch thing, but in like really impressive towers, like in iconic towers. So the first one we did was actually the CN Tower, and the winner of that was actually Nora, who's the founder of Maturi.
Oh, I love Missouri. This is a Missouri necklace.
Yeah. You're Missouri's biggest fan.
Yeah, I love Missouri. Like literally all my ears.
Yeah, and I always love all your rings and stuff too.
Yeah, I'm not wearing any rings because, to be honest, we went to karaoke last night and I'm just puffy this morning.
That's also the reason for the bags under our eyes. Honestly, I was singing, but I think the highlight song for me was when I did "If I Were a Boy." Or maybe
I could not sing that.
Or maybe "Thank You Next." Or maybe
Thank You Next was good. I'm an Ari fan, so it's always good. Okay, so I guess we should also mention about how we met. So, in addition to, as if this isn't enough that you work on, you're also a content creator. So I will link her Instagram.
Content creator.
Her Instagram, her blog is amazing, and I will also link her YouTube. Are you still active on YouTube? Yeah, you're going to be active on YouTube. So I will link everything in the description box below. But basically, we met because my husband was running a program with Sky Vodka.
Husband. She's married, in case anybody was hoping they had a chance.
I think I mention Ash like all the time. But anyways, so I think my husband had reached out to you. He doesn't want to be on my channel, but
hater.
Maybe one day we'll get him on
He's
the
a
channel.
straight
He'll,
hater.
like, get to do my makeup or something.
LOL.
So
he'd probably be good, honestly.
No, he would not. He doesn't know what anything is. He'd like use a fat brush to like do an eyeliner.
Is this a bronzer?
Yeah, no. So he reached out to you for that program, and then I don't know, were you like in Toronto? You were probably like in Toronto on work, and then you came by and we met.
Yeah, so I did the Sky program with you guys.
Yeah.
And then, which was great. Love Sky Vodka. I honestly am a lover still.
Yeah, and we kind of worked with you like just on a couple programs, and then we ended up signing you through Counterculture, and then we met in person.
Counterculture fam.
And then we went to Hawaii and New York.
It's true.
And you've been to Toronto so many times.
I'm here a lot for work, yeah.
And then since I'm from Montreal, I would go visit my family in Montreal, and we'd hang out in Montreal. I feel like it's been like such a long time, but it's probably been like a year or something.
I think that I came out here, like the first time you and I met was in January of last year.
2018?
2018.
Wow. So it's been like a year and a half.
A year and a half. And then I did this, but I had done the Sky campaign the summer before that. So like
yeah, that was, I think I was still working at the agency, so it must have been 2016 or 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that was very early on, like the early days where Counterculture, like we weren't really sure what it was going to be yet.
Right.
And we were just starting to sign people and starting to work on summer programs with different alcohol clients. And now we travel the world together.
We do.
And yeah.
Momager, bestie, you name it.
We karaoke all over the world.
Honestly, it's a little bit, like, you know what's funny is people will reply to my Instagram stories and they'll be like, do you just like, love karaoke? And I will say no. Like, I'll be like, no, like I never karaoke. But then I look and I'm like, whoa, I karaoke a lot. And like,
no, I karaoke a lot.
In all facets of my life as well. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, when I'm in Calgary, like we karaoke. Like, I don't know. And I would never call myself someone that loves karaoke, but I guess I am.
No, I guess I am. Like, even Mac replied to Ash's story last night and was like, wow, you guys really love karaoke.
And also, I just feel like I'm a performer, you know? Like, at the end of the day, I like
give it my all. Yeah.
But honestly, it's like, I'm here to entertain. Here for a good time, not a long time. And like, I have no problem, like, making a joke out of myself. I think it's funny. I also grew up with a brother. I just feel like when you, like, grow up with a brother, like, you just really know how to take a joke.
Well, no, that's different because your brother's older. My brother's younger, and it's more of like a motherly relationship that I have with my little brother.
Oh yeah, no, see, totally different for me. Like, I just feel like Quinn would just, like, I don't want to say pick on me. He'll be like, no, I didn't, but like, you did, Quinn. And I just feel like you have to kind of, you know.
But it's always good to be able to laugh at yourself.
I honestly laugh at myself all the time because sometimes I just do the most shameful things. It's the only thing I can do is laugh.
So this is something that like I wanted to ask you, like, how do you manage your time? Because being a content creator is demanding. Like, there are always programs going on, and you do them working with a full-time job. So, like, what's your advice for, like, time management?
Yeah, like, I wish that I really had it down. So when I'm in Calgary, I work at a distance because my office is in Montreal, and I'm probably there 50% of the time, honestly. Like maybe 2 weeks out of a month. So otherwise I have a space that I work out of in Calgary. I work on Eastern time just so that I'm always kind of aligned.
So you're always up early.
So I'm always up early. So I try and work like 6:45 to like 3:30 kind of thing. Granted, working from a distance, or honestly, I just feel like in this day and age, who's not working all the time? Like,
it's true.
I check my emails come in, I'm like, I'm on it. So I just really try and like pick a few things to complete in a day. Like my number one rule for accomplishing nothing is when you just like are overwhelmed by having too much to do. Like you can't do it all. So you just need to pick 3 things that you need to do and just do those, and don't distract yourself with the other stuff. Because otherwise you go through the whole day and you're like, well, I've made like 8% progress on 22 different things, but I really didn't complete anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I think it's just about like scheduling. Like my calendar is everything to me. I schedule things in, and then I also do like 2 days a week in my like, professional life. I do no meetings, so it's just like blocked off completely. Like I won't do any meetings, I won't do any calls, because I just need to be able to accomplish things. I think that's probably like the number one rule I find is like if you just sort of scatter your days with meetings and appointments and whatever, it's too hard to complete anything. Like I need a few chunks of time.
That's accurate.
With
that's
that thing.
like I go to Soho House and there's like no phone calls allowed.
Yeah.
So I literally just like ignore my phone.
Like I just need a couple moments of like nothing.
But it's hard in this digital age. Like you're not 9 to 5 anymore. Like even if you have a traditional 9 to 5 job, like you always have access to Wi-Fi
all the time.
So you really have to be strict with managing your time. But also, what I've learned is being strict with like zoning out and like.
You're better at that than I am. You're so much better at that than I am, because sometimes I'll like text you about like a photo or something, and I'll be like, oh shoot, like it's 8 for me, but it's 10 for you.
Yeah.
And you're just, and I'm always like, oh, shoot, I feel bad. Like I don't want to distract her, but you're good at just being like, my phone is away.
Yeah.
Because I'm so bad for that. Like even, I really try to be like more present when I'm with people, especially like if I'm going out for drinks with a friend or something. I don't want to be checking my phone every 2 seconds, and I'm such a slave to notifications. Like I had to get rid of my Apple Watch because I just felt like
you had to be on all the time.
Well, I just couldn't stop looking. And I would be I was doing something one time with Phil, my boss. We were like we were looking at a budget or something, and he's like, it looks like you keep checking the time, and it's like kind of rude. And I'm like, no, I'm not checking the time. First of all, you don't talk to me about being rude. First of all, but it's like I'm not checking the time. It's just my notifications. But you have to be able to just say like, it can wait. Everything can wait. Especially working at a distance, it feels like I need to be always available, 100%, because I want to be always available. And then like when I've hired people, and now like, which has been amazing, but I'll say to the girls that work for me now, like I'll be like, okay, well I don't want you to be working past 5:30, so like you don't need to do that. And then I'm like, okay, but why am I doing it, you know?
And like, you know, when you're talking to yourself, you have to like talk to yourself like you would talk to a girlfriend. I think that applies in many things in life, about being kind to yourself, just like how you would say, like I tell Margot all the time, like don't work. If you're on vacation, like don't work. Like why are you on vacation then? That's just a wait. Like you're just working in a different location.
There's like I always have like a gray area for me. Like one of the girls I work with, Pam, is, well, you know Pam. Mm-hmm. She's amazing when she's like on vacation. She's like, I don't even look at my phone, like don't even whatever.
Yeah.
But I, like, a lot of what I do is, you know, closing large contracts, or, you know, I'm waiting for Google to sign something. Like, it's something that I really want to happen, and I also feel very invested in what I do because I've been doing it for so long that it's like, it's not just It's not just like a job and I'm done. It's like this is something that we've built and that I've been building, and I want to see it like come to fruition. So for me, I like to just still be in contact, because otherwise I'm wondering and I don't feel relaxed if I'm like
If you're
wondering what's happening. So I always say to my team, like, look, if it's not urgent, put it in Slack, and then I'll get to it when I'm ready to get to it. And if it's urgent, text me. But like, please understand the use of the word urgent.
Yeah, that's
like,
the thing.
Yeah. That's like one of the, I still use the term, I used to manage Aritzia like forever and ever back in my glory days. And they, like, one of the terms they use is like MCMSN, and it's like how you like rate if something's like mission critical, you know? So it's just like, is it MC? Like, is this MC?
Is it MC?
Is this MC?
What's MC at
All my
Aritzia?
Aritzia girls, you know.
What's MC at Aritzia? Though?
You know, just like, for example, like there's no one on cash and you have a lineup. Like, cash fits floor.
Mission
you know, like,
critical.
Cash is the most important. You know, that is MC. Somebody get to cash.
Yeah, I feel that. So how do you ever like unwind? Like, what do you do to relax?
I'm really honestly so bad. I went to get a facial with this girl in Calgary like a month ago, and it was sort of like a holistic facial where she also kind of like massages your shoulders and stuff. And she was like, I go and get my nails done at the same place at Esme with Kayla. She's the best.
Your nails are always on point. Yeah.
I know, and I literally just have pink right now because I haven't been home in 3 weeks, and I like refuse to cheat on her with somebody else. Like, I need to go back to her, but I always do nail art. Anyways, my facialist was like, you really vibrate at a high frequency. Okay? Like, she's like, your energy is really at a high level. And I'm like, I know. So much of my job is like being on and being pleasant and being like always schmoozing and always networking and like always chatting. And my, like, people that know me really well, I feel like you guys know this too, they always say there's like public Katherine and like private Katherine.
Yeah.
And I really like can turn it on. And like, I feel like I'm the same person.
It's just extra.
Just extra. I actually, in the past year, have started doing bar at Barbell, which is here now too, actually.
Yeah, it is.
But it's from
a great
Calgary.
workout.
It's a great workout, and I'm someone who I honestly don't like to exercise. I know I'm like among the majority. I know everybody says that, but my girlfriend Amber really like tricked me into it, and now I love bar class. And it's the 1 hour where like my phone is not there, and I just enjoy it, and I work up such a sweat, and I love the experience. I look forward to it now. The only thing I struggle with is I travel so much that it's hard to have a consistent workout schedule. So I do that, and then I like to read. Like, I love to read Medium. I don't know if have you been to medium.com?
No.
It's basically just like an online blog where like a lot of like academics and like cool tech founders and just like everybody sort of authors pieces on everything from relationships to tech to privacy and security, like everything, makeup, beauty. So I like to read like sort of like thought leadership pieces. It sounds boring, but I really do.
And it's like, even what you do to relax is still related to your job. That's amazing.
I don't think I'm that. Oh, and like honestly, I feel like that's why I started kind of Instagram. I mean, because I would travel a lot because I had flight passes for my mom, and then I just like the photos and stuff that I take are just like a creative outlet for me. So like I find Instagram kind of relaxing. Yeah, like just like too. It's relaxing. I just like breeze on through. I follow my faves, you know. Like,
but it's also work for you.
It is also work, but I think it's different because I have a full-time job, and Instagram for me is like work, and it's so fun, but it's not stressful because I don't need to live off of it. And I think that it would be very different if I did. So
then you'd have to say yes to contract.
I just say yes.
You have to,
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there's a time or two I clearly say yes to some that, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe
it's a stretch.
Yeah, then maybe it's a stretch a little bit. Like, it's never something I absolutely am like not into, but it's something that I'm like, I'll do it. But yeah, I do get to just do like cool stuff where I'm like, I'm excited about this.
And you get to travel. It like opens up opportunities to travel, to meet new people. Like, we met through the platform.
Yeah.
So, and I met
my
some of
life
my
has
best
changed
friends.
forever.
Yeah. So like, I understand all the negative side of social media, but it's also enabled me to have a full-time job.
Yeah.
It supports my life, and I meet awesome people throughout.
That's how I feel too.
Yeah. So how do you relate to like makeup? Are you like big into makeup? Are you a skincare gal? Like, what's your take on beauty?
I'm so bad. Like, literally, when influencers are like, everybody asks my skincare routine, nobody asks about mine. I'm like really basic. I love the stuff that I like. I've been carrying my bomb.com for like 10 minutes. I've used the same stuff like forever. And sometimes people do ask me, like, they'll be like, oh, like, what bronzer do you use and stuff? I'm all about a bronzer. Like, is there anything better than being tanned? I don't know. Let me know. I'm just like mildly into it. I think it's really important to just have a good like cleansing routine. And for me, it's all about hydration. Like, my skin is always so dry. Calgary's like the driest place ever. Airplanes are the worst.
And you fly all the time.
Yeah, so I love like the moisturizing side, and honestly, like, I feel like I get into beauty stuff when I see influencers talk about it. Like, I fully, well, one of my girlfriends, Lana, is like a beauty blogger, and I get my makeup advice from her. Like, I'll be like, sometimes instead of even just texting her, I'll just like look at a video and I'm like, what bronzer did you use? You're like, I'm gonna pick that up. But I'll just see someone who like their makeup looks amazing and I'm like, what are you using? So I think I'm into it. Also, like, branding is huge for me.
Yeah.
I'm such a sucker, like Milk cosmetics and stuff. Like, I'll just see their packaging and I'm like, oh, well, I need to try
Their
it.
packaging is amazing, but I tried their highlighter and I was like,
You
not
like it?
impressed. No, it doesn't smell good.
Oh, okay, well, I don't like that.
Maybe that's valid. Maybe it's for like unscented, sensitive skin, but in terms of highlighter, like, it wasn't like beaming enough.
Yeah, it wasn't the highlight
It was
of your
very
life.
natural, so I guess it's more on the natural side.
Yeah.
I do really love their eye patches, so those are good.
try that.
Yeah, the moisturizing, like,
I need
on
that
your
right
eye.
now. Oh my God.
I need that right now too.
R.I.P. to my
I don't know
eyes.
if my makeup is saving my face.
Honestly,
today,
I hope
but-
this lighting is really good. I apologize.
The lighting is very good, so it probably, like, I probably look like I have way too much blush.
I was just thinking that. I was like, I can't just layering on because I was done early.
No, in camera, it'll look great.
Yeah, like it's funny because I'll be someone who's like, oh, I'm not really into makeup, but at the same time, I am. Like, I just
do you feel like it's necessary? Because, like, you have a pretty high profile job, so do you feel like it makes you confident? Do you feel like...
Yeah, for me, like, it's just good skin is what I feel is I need to just feel good. Like, and like, less is more, I find, especially at work and like being taken seriously as like a young woman and stuff. I think there's a line, like, I have like lash extensions and I love them mostly for like convenience because it's just so easy to like wake up and they're already there. But I think, you know, I like to keep it toned down, you know, nothing
too much.
I like it if you can like barely tell if they're extensions or not extensions, and it does just give me confidence, like a good concealer, a little bronze, a good brow, like essential to just feel like I can face the day and world.
Face the world. Yeah, it's good to just like enhance your features. Like, I got into makeup because I was a big MAC fan, and MAC was very much into like the colorful, like over the top,
like the big purples and stuff.
You know, I was into it when I saw like RuPaul do his collab with MAC. Like, I was very drawn by the whole drag scene in Montreal, and I had a lot of friends involved in that scene, and that was so extra that I like started my makeup journey in like the most extra way. Like, I had teal eyeshadow, purple eyeliner, like turquoise, like I'm talking all these high pigment MAC products.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was great. Like, my parents let me experiment with like who I was, and they'd let me go to school with makeup on. Like, I was always just so colorful. Like, looking back at school photos, I want to die, but it's okay.
That's so funny though, because you are honestly like the most beautiful human on the planet. Like, when she wakes up in the morning, honestly, she literally looks like perfection all the time. She does, I'm telling you, she does. And it's true. And so, like, you're the epitome of like, oh my God, if I could just have the skin that you have, and just like, I look at you and I'm like, wow, you're someone who has an amazing skincare routine that then allows you to like be pretty minimal with what you're doing with your makeup and stuff, because you just have such like beautiful, healthy, hydrated features. I'm her biggest fan. Heck man.
I mean, yes, skincare is very important. Like, my parents are in the contract manufacturing, like skincare world.
Right.
So skincare has always been so important. My mom was always someone that would, you know, give me products to use, like, gentle enough, and like, you know, SPF is your best friend.
Yeah.
Like, it's the best anti-aging. And so I've always been really, really into skincare, but beauty to me was like expression and it was creativity, and I was a theater kid, and you know, you paint your face for the back row, so like my makeup was always so extra. And it's only recently that I've gotten into this like easy to do routine,
no makeup,
that's quick.
Will you insert
5
a photo
minutes
of you like with the pop?
Oh yeah, like I'll find old photos. Like
here.
I remember playing the last play I did, I was Audrey Hepburn in My Fair Lady. And
iconic.
My makeup, like I need to find this photo because it was so like up close was crazy, but if you were sitting in the back row, it looked normal.
Yeah.
And I also was a ballerina, so you know your hair is pulled back. Your makeup is, you have feathers on your face, like it's like extra.
Yeah.
So I think I just grew up in this like very artistic world.
Yeah.
I thought makeup was that.
Yeah.
But it's only recently that I've discovered like I can highlight little things and
without
not make it so extra.
It's funny how that influences like for me and like my Instagram, like beachy KJ, and I've always been really into that. Like I grew up with a cabin out on Shuswap Lake in BC, and like would spend months there, and just like I was all about like
nature.
A tan and like a it's pretty nature. I'm so outdoorsy. So no, whatever.
No. It's like 5-star beach.
Yeah, it's like a 5-star beach, but like I love the beach when I'm there. But I just like I love water, and I love like the salt water hair and like texture and just like that sun kiss, like where you just have that natural kiss like here. And that really inspired like when I was using makeup more. I was like, well, I want to highlight that feeling that you have when you're like you've just been in the sun for 7 days and you got out of the ocean, and like that really natural like dewy. And I love, this actually probably isn't a great thing, but I love when people are like, oh my god, like did you just come back from vacation? And I'm like, it's just like a good bronzer, you know, but a healthy glow, like not a like like an orange face, but like a good, you know, because sun to me, when you just like look like you have a little bit of sun, you're just like healthy.
Yeah, because you don't see the veins that are under your skin. Like your skin is colored enough that it's it makes you look pretty.
Yeah. So it just like that's what kind of inspires you, because for me, I'm all about like that beachy, like a little dewy, a little glowy sun. This is a little sunshine.
I still find myself having a really hard time taming down my makeup. Like I was filming a video with another girlfriend of mine, and I was like, you're gonna do a smoky eye and a nude lip. Like pick one or the other. Yeah. And I ended up with a smoky eye, metallic eyelids, and a tangerine red lipstick. And I just can't stop. Like I have a really hard time stopping myself once I get going, because I see all my products and I'm like,
I need to use
so
them all.
obsessed. It's so luscious to me, and like I just love playing with makeup, and I just can't help myself. And I just,
oh my god, can we do one where you do my makeup?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
We will. Well, on that note, thank you so much for being on my channel.
Thanks for having me.
I hope you guys learned a thing or two. I don't know if you will. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you're having a great day wherever you are in the world. Bye. Bye. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. No, I don't say guys, I say everyone. Everyone. We're inclusive. Okay. My head hurts.
Aloha, bibs.
Okay.